So hello, welcome back to another video. Now I'm out early again today to do some more lure fishing for bass. However, this morning I'm going to be focusing on sort of one variety of lures. I'm going to be using surface lures, but mostly some of the range from Samson Fishing. Now I'm going to start with the bomb, which is the 21 gram version of the bomb. I've got it in all white and I've also got it in a mullet colour. And I've got a few other lures with me today as well. I've got the new shad, which I've been catching on lately, so I'll probably throw that out. And I've also got a few of the tweak baits as well. Now conditions are really nice. It's early in the morning, it's dead calm, and we've got very little wind, no swell. So nice to work a few top water lures on the surface of the water and see if we get any big swells behind the lure and any takes. So I'm going to start fishing straight away. I'm hoping to connect into a few bass today. We'll just see how it goes. So yeah, let's get fishing and see what we can find. So this is going to be the first lure I'm going to try out this morning. This is the bomb, 21 grams. It's a nice slim profile, and I've actually replaced the hooks on there because the hooks were getting pretty worn out. It's about 2 years old, this lure now. So I've gone for a single on the back and a smaller treble in the middle. And I mostly like to work this lure on the top of the water, whereas with the other Samson lures I'll let them sink and get them working just below the surface. With the bomb I tend to just work it as a normal top water lure. So just a steady retrieve in and tapping that rod tip. I've just seen one or two swells on the surface right in front of me. Gonna cast in that direction. Sure, out the corner of my eye I just saw something hit the surface then. So nothing at all happening yet. I've put on the tweak bait, the bigger version that I've got, which I think is 20 grams. But I might stick on the shad in a minute. This tweak bait is a mullet colour, and the shad I've got is all white, so might just pop out a little bit more. But who knows? Could just not be any fish here at the moment. I've not seen much activity whatsoever. Thought I saw a couple of swells before, but I've not seen any bait fish either. But I can see in the distance there, got a cruise liner coming in for the day. Also got the cargo ship, the clipper, out there too, which is on its way into the harbour. Well, there is something extremely small. Whether that's a bass, I'm not sure. When I say small, I mean small. But at least that's a sign of life. It's a really tiny fish. Oh, it's going a bit now. I think it is a bass. You can see silver under the surface. Or is it? Oh no, it's a mackerel. Well, that's brilliant. I'll take one of those all day long. We'll be cooking that up later. Beautiful. I'm going to get this lure back in the water really quickly, because if there's a few mackerel here, some of those will go down a treat. There we go, lovely mackerel. So not what we were after, but there we go, lovely mackerel there. Now it's nice to see at this spot. I actually had a couple of mackerel here last year, but it was a bit later on in the year. But there we go, a lovely mackerel taken on the tweak bait. So hopefully we can find a few more of these, and hopefully there's a few bass chasing them. Well, it's a welcome surprise. Nice to get a mackerel. Maybe that's the swells I was seeing earlier. So if there's a few of those around, I'd imagine there's a few other fish in amongst them as well. There's got to be some bass here. So that's going to do it for this morning. Not the session I was expecting whatsoever. I was really expecting to get into a few bass this morning, but it's been completely dead. Quite surprisingly actually, because like I said, I was expecting to find a few fish, even see some activity on the surface, but nothing whatsoever. So it's a saving grace, that mackerel. I'm going to be cooking that up later on this afternoon, so not the video I intended, but a little catch and cook mackerel. So yeah, I'm going to head out later on over lunchtime this afternoon on the rocks, and we'll cook that mackerel up. So I'll see you then. So welcome back. I'm out on the rocks and I'm about to cook up that mackerel we caught this morning. Now it's still a lovely day. It's a little bit overcast at the moment, but the sun is due to come out. We've got two cruise liners in the background there. The large one that you can see, which is horizontal at the moment, that's the one I saw come in early this morning, and just to the right of it, you may not be able to see that one as well. That's the smaller one that's also come in the last few hours. So we've got two cruise ships moored out there, a lovely backdrop. Now I've got a few simple ingredients with me today, and when I say simple, I mean really simple. I'm doing mackerel ceviche, which is just cured. I'm not cooking anything today. I'm going to make a dressing with citrus and salt, slice the mackerel up thinly, put it into the dressing, leave it for between half an hour and 45 minutes, let that cure, let it pickle the fish and cure it so it cooks it effectively, kills the bacteria on the outside, and then it's ready to eat. So as I said, I've got a couple easy ingredients with me today. I'm going to start doing it now. I'm going to prep the fish last because I need to use a chopping board just to chop up some fruit. So yeah, I'll show you what I'm doing and then we're going to eat. So basically what I'm going to do to start, I've got a lovely fresh grapefruit here. I've got a couple of lemons and a couple of limes. And I'm going to start by making my dressing. I'm going to put it into this bowl and then we'll prepare the fish. So I'm just going to roll these out just to soften them a little bit, just so you get all the juice out of them. I might not need two of each, but I bought two just to make sure. So they just get cut in half, and we're going to add the juice of those after. So they can go to one side just like that. And then with the grapefruit, all I'm going to do is just take the skin off. Now I'll try and do this as best as I can with the camera because I'm a bit limited on angles of being on these rocks. But you just want to take all of that skin off very simply. If you leave any on there, you can just clean it up in a second. So we'll just take that little bit there off as well, and there. And then you've got your grapefruit ready. This I'll just put to one side. We can sort that out later. And then I've got the bowl here. So what I want is all of these segments, and you're just going in between the flesh, taking out those segments of grapefruit. So we'll just continue going all the way around, and it's important to hold the grapefruit over the bowl because you want all of that juice that's dripping out of it. And once you've got each segment out, just like that, give it a squeeze. All of that juice goes into there. And then what we will do is just cut each segment in half. And that's what you're left with. Now, very simply, squeeze that lemon in there. Just squeeze it over your hand, and then you can catch all the pips that come out, just like that. Get rid of them. I'm going to put both the lemons in, and then juice of probably one lime. And then into our dressing, some cracked black pepper and some salt. Then we just mix that up, and that's our dressing ready to go. So next up, we've got our mackerel. It's a good sized mackerel, this. So all we're going to do, down the back of the spine, and just slice that knife down, open it up, and whilst pressing the knife into the fish, just cut down like that. Our mackerel's a very delicate fish, very soft, easy to prep. And then you just want to go behind that fin there, slice around, and that's your mackerel fillet there. And you can't get any fresher than that. For the other side, same thing, just flip the fish round, go down that backbone, pushing the knife into the fish, and then the same thing just around that fin, and there's your other fillet. Now I'm going to be taking all the bones out of these, so you have a few little pin bones here, so just by running the knife down that way, trimming that up, you can take all of those off. Just double check it for the odd pin bone here and there. And then you also have some bones running straight down here, so what you can do is just cut through. Now it doesn't matter if you go through the skin when you're prepping it this way. That just peels out. Just trim the end off there. And that there is your boneless bit of fillet. So the exact same thing with the other one. Trim it up, down the middle, and there we go. So what I want for this is just nice, let's get rid of that fly, just little cubes basically, nice and thin, nice edible bite-sized pieces, just like that. You can do it at a bit of an angle if you want. And the patterns and the skin on these fish is so cool. You get all kinds of colours. Some of them are really green, some have got a vibrant blue colour, and as you can see they've also always got that really silvery white belly. So we're just going to cut all of this up, and you can see this gets quite a bit, so if you were having this as a little appetizer, it'd be enough for 2 people. And then what we're going to do, take that spoon out, I'm just going to drop that into there, just like that. And then I'll just gently, very gently, just make sure it's covered by the juice. And we're going to leave that sit for half an hour. I've got loads of mackerel heads in my freezer, so we'll feed that to the crabs and the birds. So this is how it's looking once it's into that dressing. This has just gone in, but I'm not sure if you'll pick it up on the camera. You can already see the flesh turning a very faint white colour, and that's all the citrus in the grapefruit, the lemon, the lime, and also the salt in there. That's what's curing it. It's the sour and the saltiness that cures the fish, kills the bacteria on it, therefore makes it safe to eat. You can actually eat it completely raw if you wanted to. This is fresh fish, so it's not going to harm you at all. Now another little tip is, once you've put it into that marinating juice, just leave it. Don't start stirring it about, because as it starts to cure, if you keep moving it about, it's going to break up, and you don't want that. You want to keep it all in nice pieces. So just let it sit there, do its thing until it's ready. So that's taken literally a matter of 5 or 6 minutes, I think. Now, as I said, once it's in that marinating juice, just leave it, let it do its thing. It's going to take about half an hour or so to cure. If you slice it really thin, it'll cure really quickly. The thicker you go, the longer it will take. So I've just put a cloth over it just to keep the flies off it, because obviously I'm outside. So I'm going to kick back, take in the view for 15-20 minutes. I'll give it a check, and then it'll be ready to eat. So also, while we're waiting for that mackerel to cure, I might say, I've got some new t-shirts made. These literally arrived 2-3 days ago. They're already on my website. It's a new Fish and Mackerel t-shirt. Big shout out to Rich Taylor, he's the guy who designed the graphic for them. They've turned out absolutely brilliantly. And like I said, they're on my website now. So if you'd like one, go on there. They're £25 each. Alternatively, you can message me through Instagram or anything like that. And yeah, we'll be able to sort something out. So yeah, please go check them out. They're amazing, really good quality, super warm, super cool. So yeah, if you want one, head to my website and take a look. Oh, the birds have found that mackerel. That didn't take long. So we are ready to go. Now this is really simple, and literally all I'm going to do is get all of that onto the plate. Hopefully you can see the changing colour of the mackerel. It's gone that pale sort of silvery whitey colour, and that's all that pickle juice curing it. The little pieces will cure all the way through, and the bigger pieces will just be nice and sealed. Now I'm going to add to that some more cracked black pepper, and I also have with me a few chili flakes. These are all a bit stuck together, but they go on. And I've got some lovely herbs out my garden, which I'm going to put onto there. Now, as I come to plating this up, the wind has literally just picked up a little, so hopefully this doesn't all go flying. But you don't get much more summery than this here. I've got a bit of mustard cress as well, so that's going to go onto there. And as you can see, those little hints of green with that lovely pink flesh of the grapefruit really brings it to life. And then what we do, squeeze a bit more lime on there. We'll add a couple other pieces of lime, and the rest of that juice just gets drizzled over, just like that. And that there is your mackerel ceviche. So there it is, mackerel ceviche, done very, very simply, but packed full of flavour. Now it's time for the taste test. Now I want bits of that grapefruit, some of those herbs, all mixed together. Oh my god. Oh my god. The flavour of that is really quite stunning, especially with that hint of chilli in there as well. This grapefruit, I will say too, is super, super ripe. So it's got that nice sweet, almost sour flavour to it. Wow. I'm not just saying that, this is absolutely beautiful. My girlfriend's going to be pretty jealous about this. This could be probably, I think I could actually go as far as saying, this could probably be the tastiest catch and cook I've done on the channel so far. Now there is also a sea bass ceviche catch and cook on my channel, which I did I think about 2 years ago, so I'll leave the link of that just up above. If you want to go check that out, please go have a look. I'm not joking when I say, I'm really not exaggerating or joking whatsoever, and I'm not saying I'm some top Michelin star chef. You saw how easy this is. Anybody can do it, absolutely anybody. The key thing is you want super fresh fish, fresher than buying it from a fish counter in a supermarket. Get it from a fishmonger's, catch it yourself. You won't get any fresher than that. As long as that fish is fresh, it will be absolutely beautiful. This is honestly amazing. It's so good. I've got a little Tupperware with me. I'm going to keep a bit, because I don't live far from here. I'm going to take some home and I'll give some to my girlfriend because she'll love this. So it didn't go as planned this morning. I was actually targeting bass, but no word of a lie, I couldn't be happier that I ended up catching this mackerel, because it's the tastiest mackerel I've had in years. Unreal, absolutely unreal. People would pay good money for this, and that's not a bragging thing whatsoever. I'm just saying it's a simple thing you can make at home, but people will pay good money for this in a restaurant. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It wasn't as planned, like I said, but I'm sure as hell glad it did turn out the way it did. This is the best lunch I've had in a long time. It was still fun getting out this morning. Nice to catch a mackerel, and also nice to catch it on a top water lure as well. That was the Samson tweak bait. So if you want to check out Samson Lures, just go to their website, Samson Fishing, and check them out. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to finish this off, and sure enough, I'll be out sometime soon, hopefully catching some more fish and probably cooking them up on the rocks somewhere. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next one. Amazing.